Hello, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with a test review for Thursday's test. You guys should be ready. I was very proud of many of your mid-test scores. You're really catching on. All right, so let's get right down to it. I'm not going to draw this, but I have a 52 gon. And for my 52 gon, I need to determine how many triangles are. Remember, a 52 gon would have 52 sides. Well, if there's 52 sides, there's 50 triangles, right? Okay, the total degrees, it'd be the number of triangles, 50 times 180. Let me see, 18 times 5, 0. I think that's going to be 90, right? So it's going to be 9,000 degrees. Yikes. Okay, 50 times 180. Now to get the measure of one interior angle, I'm going to take the 9,000 and I'm going to divide it by 52. I'm not going to waste your time with the long division there. I'm just going to go ahead and use my calculator showing my work. 9,000 divided by 52 ends up being approximately 173.08 degrees rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so that's the measure of one interior angle. Now to get the exterior angle, I'm going to take 180 degrees minus 173.08. All right, which I believe is going to be 6.92 degrees. Now remember, when we're talking about interior and exterior angles, it's something like this. Okay, if I have a pentagon and I extend the segment, okay, my interior angle is this one, and a pentagon is 108 degrees. And then for this one, it's 180 minus 108, which would be 72 degrees. Okay, so now we also have to determine convex and concave. I didn't do it on the 52 gon because I didn't have a picture to look at. But remember, concave is when the shape kind of caves in on itself. So that, Control D, concave. All right, and then something like this, this triangle's convex because it's not caving in on itself. Okay, the pentagon I did up there, that would be convex, right? Okay, now one thing that hurts you guys is you don't know your definitions for alternate interior, corresponding, etc. Remember, corresponding angles they make an F, right? And those two angles end up being the same. So the corresponding angles in this problem, well, 4 and 8 are corresponding angles. Do you see the F? Let's see if I can highlight the F for you. There it is. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Are those all connected to each other? Yes, they are. I like it. All right. Consequently, there are other angles that are, let's see here. Oh, that angle's going the wrong way. Sorry. I guess I can't get it to do what I wanted it to do. Let's try flipping it the other way. And, oh, if I do a double maybe. Okay. There we go. All right. So, 1 and 5 are corresponding. Angles 1 and 5, right? Okay. Also, there would be an F here, like this, right? 3 and 7 are corresponding. Okay, and there's actually one other pair in this problem, and that would be 2 and 6. All right. Now, there's alternate interior. An alternate interior are make a Z. Let's go and find a Z, and we'll do those in green. Z, right? So right there. It looks like 3 and 6 are alternate interior. I actually have a backward Z going the other way, kind of like that, right? And that means that 3 and 6 and also 4 and 5. Okay. All right. And then we know vertical angles. And vertical angles make an X. Vertical make an X. Right? And so there's lots of examples of verticals. 1 and 4. 2 and 3. 6 and 7 are vertical. 5 and 8 are vertical. See the X's? Okay. And then there's one other type we know, and that's alternate exterior. And that would be like 1 and 8. They alternate sides of the transversal, and they're outside the parallel lines, exterior. 2 and 7 are also alternate exterior. You need to know those names for the test. Corresponding alternate interior, vertical, and alternate exterior. Also, supplementary and complementary would be good to know. Supplementary make 180, right? And if you remember, I can turn that into a 180 degrees. Pretty simple. And then complementary can turn into 90 degrees. There you go. All right, so let's take a look at this here. We've got this shape, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in all the angles I can in blue. All right, first of all, I know that this one here is 80 because it's vertical with that one. I know that this one here is 100 degrees because it's supplementary with the 80. And then I could use the argument that this is 100 because it's vertical to the other 100. Okay, now I'll use different arguments. I see a Z right here. See my Z? Right? Alternate interior. This 100 and this 100 are alternate interior angles. I can use the backward Z this way. This and this are congruent because they're alternate interior angles. All right. I see an F here. See this F? That means the 100 and this angle are the same, so it must be 100. They're corresponding angles. If I want, I can fill that in as 80. I'm going to fill this one in as 80. See if you can tell me one reason why. I can think of two. See if you can tell me one reason why that has to be 80. And by the way, this is 80. It's vertical, right? See the X? Okay. Now I'm going to come up here. And this one here is going to be 110 because it's vertical to that one. Here I see a real nice F. So this one's also 110, and that's 110 because it's vertical. Here I have supplementary angles, so this must be 70 degrees, which makes that 70 degrees, makes that one 70 degrees, that one 70 degrees. Now if I could figure out this angle here, I could probably figure out this last one. I don't know this angle here. Well, look at this. Don't I have a triangle? See my triangle? How many degrees in a triangle? 180. Well, I have an 80-degree angle, a 70-degree angle, an angle that I don't know, and that has to equal 180 when I add them up. So I'm going to get 150 plus x is going to equal 180. I'm going to solve for x, and I'm going to get x equals 30 degrees. Now I know that that's 30 degrees. I know these three right here. Oh, yeah, I was going to do it one way. I'll do it two ways. These three have to make 180. So I've got 30 and 80, which is 110, plus an unknown, and that equals 180. Well, y is going to be 70 degrees. Another way, I could do corresponding angles. It's got to be 70 degrees. I could have done alternate interior, 70 degrees. Now, the only one left is this one right here. And I'm going to be careful. I'm going to use a vertical angle, but I'm actually using a sum of vertical angles. So you see this here, this part of the x, right? And then this is the other part of the x. So I need to add up the 30 and 70 and get 100, which makes this 100 degrees. That's one way to do it. I could have done supplementary angles. I could have done a lot of different things. Could have done corresponding with this one. All right, that's your lesson for today. This is all the stuff you need to know. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good luck on your test. Good night, everybody.